Very demure, very mindful, very demure, very much mindful. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. We are here for yet another installment. You all love me. You all are joining me again. Hello. I was not here last week. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Even though I don't really use the word morning. Peace and blessings. We are back again for yet another installment of Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware, Season 2, Episode 8. We're moving right along. We're moving right along, viewers. I love you all. I am the very educated, beautifully melanated, and also animated host by the name of DeAndre Morris Jr. Welcome. I know I wasn't here last week, but when we get to the segment of wellness, I'll let you all know. But first, before I move on, there's something that's getting on my nerves. This is why I need to hire a tech crew. I need to really hire some tech because I do not want to always be here adjusting this camera. It is very annoying. Okay. All right. Now, I wanted to make sure that you all can see me and see me. Your mental health matters, staying mentally aware. We're here, we discuss mental health on a whole new level. Again, I am your lovely host, DeAndre Morris Jr. Welcome back to another week. No, you are not tripping. I was not here last Friday, even though I promised you all an episode last Friday at noon, but I will get into that. But before I do, I want to... Oh, I'm looking at my notes. I'm so glad I have show notes. It's 4 more weeks of summer left. I hope you all have gotten out and really gotten your travels in, gotten your vitamin D from sun rays outside, walked around the park, walked around the lake. I really hope that you got out and enjoyed your summertime because this has been a very tumultuous year. It really has been a very tumultuous last 4 years, but again, we're going to get into that later on in the episode. So I really hope that you got out this summer and really enjoyed yourself, enjoyed the weather, enjoyed the blue skies. It's rained here in Minnesota a lot. I don't know what the weather was in the area that you're viewing this episode in, but here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, it has rained a very lot. It was not giving demure. It was not giving very mindful. It was not. The weather all summer has been very undemure, very uncouth, and not so mindful. I'm just really not, my goodness. But on the days that it wasn't raining, I did get out. I did get to enjoy the weather. You know, even though I am born in the fall, summertime is my favorite time of year. The summer season is my favorite season because I love being outdoors. Believe it or not, as beautiful as I look to you on this camera, I do get out. I do get out more than just to the bar. You know, I don't be a punk all my life. I do manly things as well. I rock climb, I canoe, I ski, I mountain bike, I hike, I climb mountains. I jump fences. I do stuff. I do manly stuff. You know, I always tell people that I'm 70% masculine and 30% feminine. And sometimes I tap into my 30% more than I tap into my 70. But it's okay because I level out. How you doing? You know what? And being as though that I said that how you doing? I am really thinking about Wendy Williams. I am. I'm really sending my prayers and my thoughts out to Wendy Williams right now because she's somebody that I aspire to be like. And in the talk show and media arena, and I really pray for her strength. I'm really praying that things are getting better. You know, I know it's hard to unravel a bandage, but when the wound heals, it gets better. So I'm praying for you, Miss Wendy. How you doing? But 4 more weeks of summer. Get out there and enjoy these last 4 weeks. I wanted to go to a national park that's like an hour outside of the cities. I think I'm going to try to plan to do that in September because here the weather has been kind of Vivian Green, very emotional roller coaster. But I predict that the first week in September is going to give good weather. I believe so. So I think the first week in September after Labor Day, that week, you know, Labor Day is Monday, September 2nd, that week there. Damn, Labor Day already. I had to stop and think about that. Because I remember when 2024 started and I was stuck in St. Louis trying to get a flight back to Minneapolis. And here we are at the end of August, damn near. Get out and enjoy the summer. Before I move on, I want to make sure that everybody is aware of my handle on YouTube. I am not on Facebook. And we're actually going to talk about that. We'll get into that. I'm not going to say too much more beyond I'm not on Facebook. But we're going to talk about that. But please, YouTube is my new home. YouTube has been taking good care of me. Even though the CEO had passed away a few weeks ago, and I send my biggest condolences and my deepest sympathy to the family of the CEO of YouTube. Even though the CEO of YouTube has passed, that week that the CEO has passed, that's the week that my video was blocked. But I pray that everything is shifting back into place and recalibrating so I can continue to talk to my YouTube family. Viewers, please, even if you stumbled upon this video, please take your time to like and subscribe this video. Even if you do it at the end of this episode, like and subscribe to my channel. That is at PHOCALPOINT numeral 2. Again, that is at Focal Point 2, or you could just simply type my name in, DeAndre Morris Jr., and I shall pop up on the U of the tube. I also want to remind everybody of my new email address. It is no longer yourmentalhealthmatters@gmail.com. It is displayed here, YMHMSMA@gmail.com. That stands for Your Mental Health Matters, staying mentally aware. Black people use their brain. Black people use their brain. Shout out to whoever is putting my handle in the comment section. You know I'm blind. I can't see right now, but I love you. I saw my handle. Meanwhile, I'm over here smelling like I forgot to go get my... I'll do a commercial next week, on next week's episode. But I'm smelling like Everything by T.S. Madison. Shout out. Well, like I said, I don't say shout out. Kudos to T.S. Madison for creating, well, T.S. Madison and Methra, which is the perfume and cologne company, for creating such an exquisite fragrance. My fragrance on my melanated body smells so lovely. If the men were out there and they had smell-o-vision, if a man was in the building with me, in the house with me, and he's smelling me, he may want to pounce on me. Pounce on this dance. Pounce on this dance. Pounce on... Okay, let me stop. That little piece of work right there, that little 5 seconds I just did just got me hot. Oh, kudos to MENPOC Pride organization for providing the water bottles. I did on my last episode, I do believe... Oh, no, I didn't. This is the episode I'm going to talk. We had an amazing time last week. Minnesota People of Color LGBTQ plus Pride Organization. I know that's a mouthful. We had a time last week. I'm going to get into that. But kudos to MENPOC Pride for the water bottle. And my Beyonce is not being used for the evening. To my viewers out there, I'm looking at you all. My Beyonce cup is not being used for a particular purpose. I wanted you all to know that I am drinking water. This is a clear water bottle, and whatever I'm drinking out of it, you can see. You know, I don't want nobody be in my inbox and emailing me like, what you really be drinking in that Beyonce cup? Mind your business. Now, how you doing? You know I'm old. You know, I do a little piece of movement. That little pounce on this, that little river dance, that got me hot. Let me stop before I get hot again. But please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Focal Point 2. New email address, YMHMSMA@gmail.com. It is no longer yourmentalhealthmatter@gmail.com. I was having an issue with that email address. Please use the new email address. You can tell I'm excited today. I'm kind of happy. I am. I've been in a very great mood for the last 2 weeks. I actually, let me, be quiet, DeAndre, because I'm moving ahead of myself. All right, now I can talk about it. So, mental health check-in. Mental health check-in. Mental health check-in. Are you feeling really good? Are you feeling anxious? Are you having a really rough time? Are you in need to reach out for support, or you don't know how to feel? Let me know in the box below, in the comment section below. Let me know how you're feeling. Which one of the emojis represent how you're feeling right now? Let me know, let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Let me know, let me know. Let me stop. I'm excited today. And I want to, because we're in the wellness segment, the wellness check segment. So I'm about to talk about me. I am very magnanimous. I feel good. I do. And I can talk about why I wasn't. First, let me check the show notes. Make sure I'm not moving ahead of myself. Okay. Well, before I talk about how my last 2 weeks was, anybody who is in the inbox or anybody who is viewing this who is having a really rough time, for real, like I'm on a serious note right now. Anybody who's having a rough time, I am sending prayers and thoughts out to you. Do know that when I say I'm praying for you, I literally get on my hands and knees and do this really. So I am seriously praying for this world. I'm praying for this nation. I'm praying for this election. Because this election season has been really, baby, let me tell you. I'm going to move into why I feel the way I feel about the election. Oh, and since we're talking about the political climate, kudos to the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, for providing me with my progressive flag Harris Walls campaign poster. I love it. I love you. It will probably be right there. It will probably be in this frame from now through November, up until the election, because that is my view and I'm sticking to it. And kudos to Kelly Robinson, since we're talking about the Human Rights Campaign in the Twin Cities. Kelly Robinson, who is the HRC president for the Twin Cities chapter. Like, for real. I'm serious. And I know that it's been a rough time for some people. I am praying for you. I am. I know I'm bouncing around a lot. I'm just a little, I'm feeling myself. I am. But I seriously do want to let you know, my viewers, I am sending and eliciting prayers for you. Whatever time you're going through, if you are seriously going through a rough time or don't know how to feel, please know that I'm praying for you. And if you seriously do need someone to speak with, ymhmsma@gmail.com. I'm always checking my emails. I'm always checking my DMs. Whoever has my number saved and they have an iPhone or whatever. If you have an iPhone, FaceTime me. If you have an Android, text me. I'm here for you. I am. I can't sit here and say that I'm doing a mental health broadcast on YouTube every week, but I can't be here for my people. I'm here for you. So do know that you have a shoulder to lean on if you need. But moving forward, back into my mood of today, I am feeling, personally, I'm feeling magnificent. I really am. Last week was the Minnesota People of Color Pride Organization's festival. It was Back to Black theme, so it was Black Pride, which it essentially is Black Pride, but kudos to Black Pride. Kudos to Black Pride. I really was immersed with an abundance of joy from Black and brown people. I was immersed with happiness from Black and brown people, positive energy, very gregarious energy, very magnanimous energy from my Black and brown people. We showed out last week. Like, oh my Lord. The event spanned from last Tuesday, August 13th, to this past Sunday, August 18th. We had an event going on every single day. And I enjoyed the energy in the room at every single event. So Minnesota and those who traveled to Minnesota for our festivities, kudos to you. for showing up and showing out. Kudos to the volunteers from Gay for Good who showed up and showed out and helped us throughout the day at Powderhorn Park on Sunday. Kudos to our chef who was at the Airbnb and made the most exquisite meals. Kudos to everybody, all the MENPOC Pride staff. Kudos to everybody. Kudos to Dennis Anderson. Kudos to Dennis. I have to say that again. Kudos to Dennis Anderson for just hanging in there for the last 25 years of Soul Essence of Black Pride, but the last 10 years under the name of POC Pride. But totally, like I said, he's done it 25 years. Kudos to you, Mr. Dennis Anderson, for just hanging in there. And I'm looking in the camera and I'm talking to you, and I really hope that you are watching this episode or you eventually see this episode on your leisure. I'm on a serious note with you right now. I've lived in this city for 8 years. Now, this is me being very serious right now, Dennis. I've lived in this city for 8 years. It's been very this. The culture here, the people here, it's just very, it's been, especially since 2020, George Floyd's death, it's been very challenging here. Very weird energy, very up and down energy. And the energy here and the atmosphere here would make anybody give up so easily on the community. But for you to have hung in there, you're still hanging in there, but you have hung in there for the last 25 years speaks volumes to me. And it speaks volumes to your character. So kudos to you. When I tell you, Mr. Dennis Anderson, kudos to you, that's what I mean. Like, thank you for hanging in there for our community, for our people, for our black and brown bodies who just want to find a space to feel comfortable, to feel loved, to feel welcome, to feel liberated, to live, to know how to come together with other people and not be in a negative space, a negative energy. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for your perseverance. I know a lot of people don't tell you thank you and give you your flowers, but I'm giving you yours today. So let me not stay on that too long. But do know that, my viewers, I had a time. I actually, like you all know, I actually worked for the company, Minnesota POC Pride Organization. It was grueling. It was not overwhelming. It was just exhausting work. Because, like I said, it spanned for a course of the 13th to the 18th. That's like 6 days worth of events that took place. And it was exhausting, but it was beautiful. I have very beautiful content that I could share with my people offline, whoever wants to see the content. I have everything from the drumline who showed up to the award ceremony to the dance party to the boat ride that we do annually. Everything was beautiful. So, yes, kudos to you, Mr. Anderson, and the staff and the volunteers who helped make the 6 days of our 10-year anniversary of celebrating Pride for our people. Thank you all for making that possible. You all know I couldn't move forward without showing, call me vain, call me conceited. I don't care what you call me. I'm going to always show you a picture. That picture actually look good. My eyes look brown. My hair is beautiful. My skin is popping. My skin look good. The suit was lovely. The nails were clean. Oh! Oh! I done made my own self hot. This is me, by the way, because I'm over here being silly. This is me from our Back to Black award ceremony. Of course, the theme was all black, so I had to come and give my DeAndre Morris Jr. flair. So, I can still do this, I love it. Happy birthday, Big Mama, Big Andre. It's my bro's birthday today. So I had to embarrass him and put some pictures up and tell my bro happy birthday. If your birthday falls on the day of an episode and I love you, you know I'm gonna post some pictures of you on the episode. So this is actually one of my biggest supporters. Like, for real, for real. I love the picture. I wish you would fix the badge. But this is my bro. Andre, happy birthday. You're celebrating today. Another year older, another revolution around the sun, another year on earth. It's a blessing to be able to be black and male and living and thriving. So happy birthday to you today. Happy birthday. Yeah, you know I had to. That picture look good too. Damn, my monitor look good. We Nike fresh. Come on. All right. No, this is not my boyfriend. This is my brother. I mean that. Don't get in the comment section trying to get cute, y'all. This is not my boyfriend. I am single and still ready to jingle. And I can still stick and move. Oh! Am I moving ahead of myself? Okay, I'm not. By now, you all realize how excited and energized I am for this Harris Walls campaign. As you can see from my poster and as you can see from my monitor, Harris Walls is giving me hope for a brighter future. Like, I'm being for real right now. One thing you all have to realize, and this is just a side note about me and my personality, since this is a mental health show, we want to make sure that we're staying mentally calibrated with each other. One thing you all will realize is when I'm serious, I'm going to say I'm serious, and the inflection in my voice changes. But when I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood. You all know my personality. You all have tuned in to 15 episodes of season 1 of Your Mental Health Matters. Me migrating from Facebook to YouTube makes it no different, honey. So my tone will change, and you'll know when I'm serious, and you'll know when I'm, want to shake my tatas. But I don't really want to get too serious about the Harris Walls, like being a serious tone or a serious mood about the Harris Walls campaign, because I'll get emotional. Because when I say I am so energized for this campaign, I am so energized for this campaign. I really am. And I've expressed to you a few episodes before, I will be being a political organizer with the Harris Walls campaign, and I'm very excited about that. And the Harris Walls campaign gives me a hope for a brighter future. It really does. And now, I don't want to keep saying that too heavy and with too much emphasis, because I'm going to get the teary-eyed. Because me reading over 920 pages of filth titled The Mandate for Conservative Leadership, aka Project 2025, if that man and his vice president steps into the Oval Office next year, I would not be looked at as a human. You know what? Let me not change the tone. I'm not even going to do that. I was going to get into the agenda of the Republican Party, but I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to stay in my happy mood. I literally told you in the wellness segment, the wellness check segment, that I'm feeling good, I'm feeling magnificent, and I'm going to keep it that way, because I get easily angered when I think about this Project 2025 and the agenda that they're trying to put on this country as a whole. I'm pretty sure you all have tuned in if you're watching this show. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again before I move forward. I do not judge nobody by their political views. I just want you to respect mine. I respect yours, you'll respect mine. And that's all. We need to develop a humanity in this country. This nation is really, excuse my language, but this nation is really fucked up right now. And we really need to develop more humanity like we used to be as a people in this nation. And with me saying that, I'm just reminding people who are watching this episode too, and previous episodes before this, because this is not my first political episode. I've been talking about politics the last 4 episodes, and this one being 5. So I've been discussing my political views and what side I'm on and what party I'm supporting. But all I ask of you is to respect my views, and I respect yours. But back to what I was saying about the Harris Walz campaign. They give me hope for a brighter future. The agenda that may potentially ruin this nation could be a thing of the past if this is our administration next year. Like, seriously. And I don't know who have tuned into the Democratic National Convention 2024 that just took place this week from Monday, and the last day was just Thursday. So it was from the 19th to the 22nd. And it took place in the United Center in Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. Well, kudos to Chicago. I keep on saying shout out. But kudos to Chicago for hosting such a phenomenal Democratic National Convention in this year of our Lord 2024. And I watched every day. All 4 days of the National Convention, I did tune in. A lot of people graced the stage who I loved. A lot of people. You know, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, Ilhan Omar, Gavin Newsom. Like, a few people from the political arena from around the nation has graced this stage. Even some Republicans have graced the stage. And I don't really know how I should feel about Republicans speaking at a Democratic National Convention. I don't know if they're coming in to plot. Because you know if you're in the convention, you're there. So you can come up and give a speech as a Republican representative, but you can go back into the audience and tune in for the entire duration of the convention. So I don't really know what the agenda for the Republicans who did speak the last 4 days, because it was like a good handful of them. A handful of Republicans that spoke at the DNC this week. And I don't know if they're going to take some information back to the Republican campaign. I don't know. We shall see in the coming weeks. I am keeping my close eye on this political season because I am working and doing some political organizing within this political season. And okay, we'll see. We'll see. Because personally, I feel a way about Republicans coming to speak at a Democratic National Convention. Because I didn't really see any Democrats speaking at the RNC when it was held in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't think no Democrats spoke there. Hell, I don't even think anybody black spoke there. But I am thrilled for this campaign. And this week's Democratic National Convention warmed my spirits. If I wasn't boo-hooing like a baby when certain people, I cried when they put the camera on Maxine Waters. I was like, why am I standing here crying for this woman? Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren and all of the older political people. I was crying like a baby. And even civilians and regular community people were coming and giving their testimonies on the Democratic National Convention stage. And it was touching. It was very beautiful, well put together, well done, perfect balloon drop. I want a balloon drop on my birthday. I probably need to go to a club where I can have some balloons fall on me. You know, this year is my 40th, so I kind of want... Y'all know what that is. That's the balloons. This is the balloons falling. I want the balloons. I do. I want the balloons. But overall, the Democratic National Convention of 2024 was a very well put together, very phenomenal, very magnificent event. 4-day event, you know. And of course I root for my black people. I'm the male Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black. So of course, a few people who had made me smile at the Democratic National Convention this year. Of course, my girl, Miss Becoming herself, Miss The Light We Carry, Miss Overcoming, the hand journal that she's going to be releasing. My forever FLOTUS, First Lady of the United States of America, Miss Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama. She was one of my highlights there at the Democratic National Convention. She just walked out, and everybody knew she was getting ready to come and play mama. Now, the last time she spoke, when she said when they go low, we go high, she was just toying with y'all. But she wanted to pull her belt off at this year's Democratic National Convention. Now, I told y'all before. Now, I'm not going to say it again. Don't make me pull my belt off and whoop y'all. Get out here, mobilize, vote. And of course, my takeaway from Michelle Obama. Who is going to tell him that he is currently seeking, the job he's currently seeking might be one of those black jobs? That's the highlight of the Michelle Obama moment. Because I'm like, girl. Because he did, with the first presidential debate between him and Biden a month ago, he did say that more black jobs were created. Oh, well, I did a good job creating black jobs. Black jobs, the black jobs have been on the market. The black jobs. What is a black job? I'm so glad Michelle Obama brought it up. She was like, you are seeking one of those black jobs. Because you do know a black man served as president for 8 years. So this is now considered a black job. Over the many years of white men who have served as president of the United States of America, we had our first black male president. So yes, technically, the President of the United States of America position, the Commander-in-Chief position, is considered a black job. And say what you want to say, but I'm sticking to what I just said. In my Nene voice, I said what I said. It is she just did it for me. I know, she just walked out and she just did it for me. And of course, my man, Mr. Barack Obama was there at the DNC. Of course, he spoke, and he made me smile too. Everybody gave him a standing ovation like he was running for president for a third term. I'm like, he is the most beloved president in history over FDR. So it's two beloved presidents in the history of the United States of America. It's Franklin Delano Roosevelt, belovedly known as FDR, and Barack Obama. Everybody loves these two, just based on their character and their leadership ability and the way that they were commander-in-chief of this country. Like, we need to have someone in the Oval Office who is A, not a convicted felon, and B, care about this country. And FDR and Barack were two men who did, in my personal opinion. And his speech, two things that I took from Barack Obama's speech. One thing was, don't boo, vote. Just three simple words. Anytime he said the word Trump, the name Trump, he got boos in the audience. And he was like, don't boo, vote. Just three simple words. Utilize your voice, America. You are an American citizen with the right to vote. Do you know your ancestors and the ancestors before them, what they had to do to get voting as a right and a privilege in this country? You better utilize your voice and vote. Stop booing. Booing isn't going to get no results at the polls in November. Go out and vote. That was the first thing I got from him. The second thing is, there are two types of men in the world. Those who are this and those who are that. No, it was funny because he was talking about crowd size. The opponent is concerned about crowd size after the assassination attempt now. And this is the analogy we got from Mr. Barack Obama himself. He said he's so worried about crowd size, but of course it has been a running joke on Twitter. So there are two types of men in the world. Let me. Two types of men in the world. You'll get it. You'll get that one later. But no, Barack Obama really did it for me. Another one who did it for me is my girl, Oprah Winfrey. When she walked out, all they had to do is say, ladies and gentlemen, Oprah Winfrey. That's all. I said, what? And of course, she's still wearing purple. She's always going to glorify the color purple. But she looks good in purple. Purple looks good on her skin tone. She do. She look good. She look good. Come on, hair. Hair is looking healthy. Skin is looking beautiful. The suit is giving purple power suit. I'm in purple power. Yeah, she look good. And I aspire to be the male Oprah Winfrey. She's the queen of media, billionaire. $2.6 billion in the bank to be exact. Queen of media and television. Queen of communications. This is the black woman I want to be like one of these days. I want to be able to have your mental health matters, stay mentally aware, and then some. I want to be able to have my George Jefferson piece of the pie. I want to have the biggest slice. Eventually, I'll get there, but Oprah did it for me. Oprah's electric energy always does it for me. And the way she said, Kamala Harris, I'm like, okay, girl, the old Oprah Winfrey is back. I love me some Oprah. Kudos to Oprah. I have to pause for a minute. I don't know if you all know who this man is, but this is Hakeem Jeffries. Let me calm down before I get banned. But he's vowing for the position of Speaker of the House. And the way that he spoke at the Democratic National Convention and the way he was, I was like, oh, we need a brother in the office. We do a nice looking, very well groomed, very detail-oriented brother like Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House. Nancy Pelosi has been endorsing him tremendously. She's happy for him to become Speaker of the House. And I'm happy to make him become Speaker of the House. Let me stop before I get canceled. But yes, Hakeem Jeffries, his speech was amazing. I really lived for his speech. Kudos to, you know what? And while we're talking about black men like Hakeem Jeffries. Kudos to black men who can just speak eloquently and write articulate speeches and can represent on a political platform the way that Hakeem Jeffries can. So there are a few black men who I saw during the week of the DNC who I really admire from a political perspective. And every black person that walked out there, I was like, come on, black people, river dance. Come on, black people, river dance. I was happy for the black politicians to walk out on the stage. I was like, there's many black people in the, what? So kudos to Hakeem Jeffries for just being black and male and now my governor, Governor Tim Walz, he still holds his position as governor right now, but I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before last that I told you about my experience. Well, I actually had two experiences with Governor Walz. My first experience with Governor Walz was a few years ago. I don't know if it was pre-COVID or if it was like right at the crease of COVID. Like the crease of COVID, like COVID happened and then that crease that come after, like 2019 and then COVID, 2020, and then that crease. Because 2021, like early 2021, we still had COVID protocol. And we were still kind of serious about COVID. But that crease in 2021, I think it was like around summerish. Maybe 2021, maybe 2022. And I'm so pissed that I could not find a picture that I took with Governor Walz. But this man right here, I told you all how I felt about the announcement at the early part of August. I popped my head up out of the bed so quick when I heard on my television screen that Governor Tim Walz, Coach Tim Walz of Minnesota, has been added to the Democratic ticket for Vice President of the United States of America. I am so happy for this. My first encounter was him at Gay Pride and the way he was embracing of LGBTQ people. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is our governor. And then my second occurrence is back in February 2023. This is 2024. February 2023 when I passed my first round of interviews to become a public relations assistant and was going to join his PR team for him and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan. Do you know how happy and how prideful I would have been at that job had I became one of his PR staff? This man right here, I would have flipped my toupee. By the way, this is not a toupee. I hope y'all like my hair. I know y'all was tired of me wearing the Barack Obama after his second term. All that gray. I had to fix it a little bit. So now I'm looking a little. That's one reason why I'm feeling good and feeling delicious. But back to Tim Walz. This man right here is going to be incredible in the White House. Kudos to Governor Tim Walz and his amazing speech. And a takeaway that I got from him was, and I quote, people in Minnesota know how to mind their own damn business. We don't get off into other people's bedrooms and who they sleep with and what your sexual orientation is and why do you may need conversion therapy and all of that shit. He said people in Minnesota not know how to mind their own damn business. And yes, we do. We don't bother each other's personal beliefs and personal feelings and personal emotions. If I have a personal belief, people respect that in Minnesota, at least. from what I know. I'm speaking personally now. Overall, the culture here is a little wavy, but this man here, Governor Tim Walz, makes it all the worthwhile. He really does. So I'm really rooting for I'm really rooting for this man to get into the Oval Office, because if he does the state of Minnesota some justice, imagine what he's going to do to this country. He is going to take great care alongside my girl, Kamala Harris. They are going to make an amazing team in the White House, and they're going to bring a diverse dynamic, black, female, a female president of black, Jamaican, and Asian descent, and a white male who's the vice president. I'm like, this is going to make, and then this man right here. I know I'm spending a lot of time on Governor Walz, but I know him personally, which is why I applied for the job in February of 2023. I did not let nobody know that on season 1, because I was in a transitional stage of finding my footing. But yes, I would have been a PR person for this man. This man disappeared for a while, and then this news happened. So, and then my girl. I shed a tear when Kamala Harris walked out. Well, really, I cried. I boo-hooed with Kamala. I was bawling with Maxine Waters. I was bawling with Nancy Pelosi. I was bawling with Tim Walz. I was bawling for, I'm trying to go through the list of people that I cried like a baby for. Because with this being a mental health broadcast, I don't feel ashamed of being on this live on air and saying that I cried. I'm going to cry. I told you, I tap into my emotions. I am a moody person, yes, but I know how to tap into all of my emotions when needed. Sometimes you need a good cry. And my tears, while I was watching the Democratic National Convention this year, my tears were tears of hope. My tears were tears of joy. My tears were tears of a brighter future. My tears were tears of moving forward and not going back, which is the theme of this campaign. We're not going back. We're moving forward, which is what we're supposed to do as a nation. We're not supposed to go back to the Jim Crow laws of the 1800s. What the hell? No, we're not going back. I'm spending a lot of time on the political thing, and I haven't even got to the topic of the week yet. So maybe when I get to the topic of the week, I'm probably gonna we'll see. But Kamala Harris, and my Oprah Winfrey voice, Kamala Harris! Kamala Davy Harris for our next president, our first woman president of the United States of America in the Oval Office. What a way to go. We just got to bask in her glory. That's all. I had to add 2 pictures of the one that I aspire to be in the White House. This is the one I want in the White House. I'm voting. Oh, I can't go on without discussing my... I cannot continue, because we're talking about the Democratic National Convention. We cannot continue without talking about my girl. I'm laughing because it was rumored by both TMZ, Pop Tings, Pop Crave, all of the media outlets, Page 6, they all broadcasted that Beyonce was supposed to be performing or making an appearance at the Democratic National Convention. And I'm laughing because this is her showing up. This is my joke because she was not there at all, first and foremost. She did not show up. However, side note, with that being an announcement that Beyonce may have been performing or appearing at the Democratic National Convention, I want to know what the viewership of day 4 was. Because I know that day 3 had saw 20.6 million viewers, and not including the people that were in the actual arena. But day 4 probably tripled that because they heard Beyonce's name. They want to tune in for her. So that's my sidebar. So y'all welcome. This is her pulling up at the parking lot just for a photo op. And that's her hotel room. That's her hotel room. She said, cheers, hoes. Y'all thought that I was going to be performing at the Democratic National Convention, but think again. I am at home drinking my personalized bottle of Sir Davis whiskey. I am in my hotel room, and y'all are missing me. So I thought that was pretty funny. And the viewership probably like 66, 70 million because of her name being dropped at the Democratic National Convention. So kudos, Beyonce. You know, I'm always going to insert Beyonce into the equation of an episode. Beyonce's name is going to come up every week, so help me God. She going to come up some type of way. Whether it's my opening song, whether it's a topic of discussion, I'm always going to, this is the queen right here. I told you all that I have done all this talking and been excited all this time, and we have not gotten to the topic of the week. This week's topic is supposed to be social media today and your mental health. I ramble on and on and on about the Democratic National Convention because I was so happy about the turnout, and I was so happy about the electric energy that I saw within the stadium and people that I was talking to after the convention. I was like, oh my gosh, people are really fired up and ready to go. Now, I'm going to take a break on discussing politics until after the Tuesday, September 10th debate, the next scheduled presidential debate that's supposed to take place on Tuesday, September 10th. Let me just say it like that, because I don't know whether or not it's going to take place, but I know it's been publicized at Tuesday, September 10th at 8 p.m. I'm not sure what city it's going to be broadcasted from, but it's going to take place in September. And I'm going to come back to today's political climate and your mental health part 5 after the debate. And I'm actually going to have a special political analyst on that show. So you all stay tuned for after the debate, because either the first Friday after the debate or the next following Friday after that, I'm going to go back into the political gear, the political lane, and I'm going to actually have a special guest on as a political analyst who actually has written for MSNBC. He's done some corresponding work for CNN. He's done some Star Tribune stuff in the political arena. So I'm really looking forward to this person coming on and having a conversation with me about the next presidential debate between Kamala Davy Harris and Donald J. Trump. Is it Donald Jonathan? I don't know. I don't know. Anytime I mention Trump's name, I get dry in the throat. So let me stop saying that. But I have not gotten to the topic of discussion this week. So I'm going to keep it very brief. This week's discussion is today's social media and your mental health. Social media today. If someone was to ask me, what do I think about social media today? Personally, I think it's kind of messed up that some people base their mood, their daily attitudes, and their daily, how they maneuver in this community based on what they see on social media. That's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Threads, Twitter. People base their daily mood on what they see on social media. And it's kind of messed up. It really is. Mentally, I'm not well with it, which is why I made the decision to take a hiatus from all of social media for a very long time. I really don't want to be consumed by too much social media and it affects my mood. Now, we all know, because of what I discussed the dopamine component in your body, which causes arousal. Dopamine is increased. It's the good component in your body that affects your mood. And when dopamine is increased, it's increased by arousal. It's increased by food, alcohol, marijuana, like certain elements in the world increases your dopamine. And people, particularly of the Gen Z generation, have really taken to social media wholeheartedly. They don't listen to nothing that teachers tell them. They don't listen to nothing that their parents tell them, their aunties, their uncles are telling them. They are really listening to people on social media. Now, I know what you all are thinking. And no, I do not consider YouTube social media. However, it is in a sense, because this is a platform that I'm using to broadcast my Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware to you. So I guess it's a social media platform in a sense, but it's not a Facebook, it's not a Twitter, it's not a Threads, it's not a Instagram, it's not that. People see Instagram posts, particularly the Gen Z youth, and that's what they base their mood on. If they can become an Instagram model, that wins their souls 200%. That raises their confidence 300% if they can be considered an Instagram model. But if they're considered ugly based on Instagram standards, that causes for depression and anxiety and a decreased level of dopamine. And it's really messed up right now. I personally took a hiatus from social media. Like I said, I'm not on Facebook because Facebook is too daunting. And plus, on Facebook, within a year's time, I was put in Facebook jail 5 times in 1 year. I said, this is not a platform where I could use my freedom of speech. They are trying to take my First Amendment right from me, and I'm not going to allow that. So with that said, I'm just going to get off. It's been almost a year. Come October, it's going to be a year that I have not been on Facebook or any other. I just creeped back on Instagram like 4 weeks ago because I've been off there for a while. And I need to make sure that I don't have nothing in my life that's a distraction. But I feel like me being up until 3 a.m. on Facebook, or me being up until 3 a.m. scrolling through Twitter is not conducive and not feasible to my life right now. It's too much of a distraction. People are staying up at 3 and 4. Do you know that's peak hours on social media is between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m.? Now ask me how I know that. I'll talk about that offline. But people be up on social media at 4 a.m. I'm like, people, your sleep patterns are messed up. It's because of COVID. People be on social media all a.m. till 5 a.m. till they have to go to work because of COVID. You know, a good 90% of the country was working from home, and the other 10% were considered essential workers. So because people's sleep patterns are off due to the mandated quarantine that we had to endure, because I stayed home for a year myself on quarantine that was mandated. So my sleep schedule is even messed up. A whole year at home on quarantine. Some people are still at home working remotely. Sleep patterns all messed up. It's crazy. People be on social media till 5 a.m. It's messing with people's mental capacity. People have high anxiety because they don't want to go outside. They're glued to their phones because of Facebook. Their Facebook pastor is talking to them right now, and it's like, I can't leave the house because any information or anybody I want to see, I can just stay here in the house. It's really developed a heavy introverted culture where people are staying home more, which is not an issue, but you do know that social interaction is good for your mental capacity and your dopamine levels as well. I'm not talking about social interactions on Facebook and TikTok. I'm talking about social interactions in person. Social interactions face to face. Those are the kinds of things that have been messed up by social media. So me personally, I just decided to get off because it was a distraction and people were, excuse my language again, but people were fucked up during the quarantine, like heavy. And people were saying and inboxing things that they just would never say on a regular basis. And scams were at an all-time high. If you send me $100, I'll send you $1,000. It was just fucked up. It really was. It really wasn't. Social media was not the arena that I needed to be in. So I've been off for going on a year. I feel happy. I feel energized. I feel like because social media isn't taking away a lot of my battery, I'm not walking around on 20% out here in the world. I'm walking around on 100%. So this episode is not recorded to deter you from social media. It is not. I'm just speaking my mental aspect and my mental perspective about what social media has done for me. And it's done more bad than good for me. So me being off and taking a hiatus was feasible for me. It was something that was necessary and that was needed to be done. And I'm on here telling you I encourage you. I'm not telling you. Let me make sure that my wording is correct when I speak to my audience. I'm encouraging you to take a 6-month social media hiatus. And if 6 months is too much, take a month, take 4 weeks, take 30 days. You do know that all three of those things are the same, right? I just want to make sure you all know 30 days, 4 weeks, and a month, that's all the same thing. So I don't want you all in your head like, well, what's 30 days and what's a month? 30 days, 1 month, and 4 weeks, they're all the same thing. So take 30 days off social media and see how you feel afterwards. Keep YouTube, because YouTube is the platform where you can watch videos, movies, television programs, you name it. But take a break from TikTok. Take a break from Twitter. I encourage you to take a break from Facebook, especially Facebook, because Mark Zuckerberg over there is doing what he can to, because the community guidelines on Facebook are kind of wishy-washy. And it's tapping into the First Amendment rights, but I don't want to continue into that because I don't want to get blocked. Last episode 7 was blocked. I don't want this one to get blocked. For real, I kind of want you all to see this. I want you all to know my perspective on certain things in the world from a mental point of view. That's the purpose of Your Mental Health Matters, staying mentally aware. And social media is in the conversation. It really is. So, again, I encourage you all, take a 30-day break. from social media platforms and report back to me after 30 days and let me know how you feel. Because I guarantee you, and take it from me, because I've been off for almost a year. Take it from me. And believe it or not, me not being on social media, I can promote Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware so easily. Especially since I creeped back on to Instagram like a month ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. I haven't even been on there long. So it's easy for me to promote Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware on Instagram. And I might creep on Twitter here and there, or X. I might creep on and off there every now and then, but I don't want any more distractions in my life. If I want to become the male Oprah Winfrey or the male Issa Rae in the media department, I'm going to need to eliminate some distractions out of my life. And number one has to be social media. So I encourage you. A hiatus is very, very essential. Like, for real, for real. I'm really feeling my hair, by the way. How you doing? Oh. I don't know if I want to continue to have today's social media and your mental health conversation. It might be a part 2 next week. It might not. I might move on to something else. This episode was particularly going to be today's political climate and your mental health part 5. This was going to be part 5 of the political conversation. But I decided to change my mind and talk about something else because I felt like the social media climate of today and your mental health go hand in hand. Because we're so heavily dependent on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Threads and Snapchat and whatever, Plenty of Fish and Christian Mingle and whatever else, Pokemon Go and whatever else social media is out there. Jacked, Grindr, A for A, all of that is social media. We are so consumed by it. And that is in the mental health conversation. So it might be a part 2, it might not be. Self-care management. So, you know the self-care management segment is when I state what a problem is of the week. Well, this one has been the last 2 weeks because we didn't have an episode. We weren't here last Friday. But a solution as well. So this week's problem is, I have 2 problems. Minnesota Nice Energy is a huge problem for me right now because I'm not really feeling the Minnesota Nice Energy. I don't know if a previous episode, maybe episode 2, episode 3, I said I did not like Minnesota Nice Energy. And I'm saying it again in episode 8 because I still don't like Minnesota Nice Energy. I've been here 8 years. I still don't like it. I'm from St. Louis. I'm from the state where I can show you better than I can tell you. Minnesota Nice is just not, I'm not feeling it. Not only am I not feeling Minnesota Nice Energy as a problem, but another problem of mine is corporate price gouging. I'm not feeling the grocery stores and the department stores and the shopping malls and the big Mall of Americas and all of those shopping centers. They're raising their prices every month. That's corporate price gouging. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of corporate price gouging. The solution, I just have to remember who I am, DeAndre Morris Jr., and whose I am, the Almighty God. And it helps me keep my composure. It helps me not get out of body and really show my St. Louis heat and show my Scorpio energy. Because my St. Louis heat and my Scorpio energy are not 2 energies that you kind of want to see together. I think you need to keep both at bay. Because, no. I don't want to bring St. Louis out, and I don't want to bring Scorpio out either, because that's not It's not pretty if it comes out. So I really have to take a deep breath and just remind myself of whose I am and that I am DeAndre Morris Jr., the effervescent, the very beautifully melanated gay male that sits in front of you. Otherwise, I might slap the piss out of somebody because I'm not feeling the Minnesota Nice energy. And I'm definitely not feeling like paying $10 for a box of Cheerios. Baby, I went to the grocery store the other day and scanned a box of Honey Nut Cheerios. You know it came up to $8. I'm like, bitch, take that off. I don't want that. I'll stick to the Malto meal. And that's even expensive. A bag of Malto meal is $6. What's wrong with these people? Next episode is Friday, August 30th at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Do know that I am going to stick to my show schedule. If I say I want to do this show and be with you all and be with my family in this space, in this setting, every Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to do just that. So next Friday, August 30th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, it is my next show. I love you all so much for always tuning in with me. Before I go, you know I have to give you the closing gem. The closing gem is basically the gem that I posted on my YouTube short on Tuesday. It's just 2 simple words. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just you gotta inhale and you gotta exhale. And when I say breathe, I mean breathe through your nose and breathe out of your mouth. Like seriously, take a breath. It's going to be okay. You got to breathe. Cause this ain't the end of the road. It's just all a bad dream. If you just believe. See? You gotta breathe, baby. Kudos to Layla Hathaway, by the way. I think I'm going to listen to that when I end this episode. But breathe, babies. Y'all okay? We are going to get through this. We are very much so going to get through this. And when we reach the end of the tunnel and see that light through all of this fight, through all of this challenge, through all of this calamity that we've been faced with the last few years, we get to the end of that tunnel and we see that light, we're going to be sitting there looking very demure and very mindful, darling. Looking ever so, how you doing? Next episode, Friday, August 30th, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Just breathe. I have been DeAndre Morris Jr. As I always say, I am very educated, beautifully melanated, and also animated. I'm DeAndre Morris Jr. Thank you for joining me for another installment of Your Mental Health Matters, Staying Mentally Aware. We're here, we discuss mental health on a whole new level. It is not the clinical mental health that we discuss in the clinics and the hospitals. This is real life. This is real damn life. We discussing things. So again, I'm DeAndre Morris Jr. Before I go, like I always tell you all, protect your peace by any means necessary and do nothing without intention. Do nothing without intention. Until next time, bye.